Ohayou gozaimashita! Konnichiwa, konbanwa, watashi no name Mark desu. Irashaimase.
Or in other words, greetings and salutations, lords, ladies, and gender fluid friends of any persuasion. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Gamersledge. I'm one of your hosts, Mark, and joining me down front center is Matt. Hi, Matt.
Hello. Well, hello, all you meeples out there.
And Dave, you have to unmute yourself because I can't unmute you. And Dave over here on, nope, that way.
It's probably, what?
Dave's over here. Yes.
Yes.
That's you. Right there.
Right.
To Star Wars.
Thank you, Tom. Have a good evening.
Good night.
Dave is also joining us, recovering from the creeping crud, the coughing calamity.
Yeah, it's just nonstop.
And it's been a very frustrating hour that we are now late. We're here, hell or high water. God, I didn't think it was going to happen, but we made it happen with this fancy new setup because it's what I could throw together at the last minute and literally not destroy my computer. So, hi, thank you for joining me, you two. Welcome for those of you that have not been here before. This is episode 377 of season 5, which is apparently going to last for 200 years. Episode 377 can't start on time and are bad podcasters. This is our Gamersledge bi-weekly turned biannual gaming news and reviews podcast.
It's sad and funny because it's true.
We were looking back for what number it was, and I don't think we've done one since before TwitchCon, which was before Halloween. So that's rough. But almost solely my fault, because I've had a bunch of stuff going on. Speaking of...
How dare you?
Yes, speaking of, I may be picking up in very short form with no notice and flying to Germany for 5 days to be sequestered in a boardroom. So I will let you know schedules as I find out, but it's looking more and more likely by the day I'll probably have a hard date on Wednesday.
Dog.
What? So I was telling Dave and Matt last night, I asked my wife to do me a favor and get me something, and she was very nice, and she did so. And I didn't have all of my lights on, and she tripped over a cable, and the cable pulled the HDMI splitter, which then pulled the capture card, and it shot the capture card off of its shelf where it lived, and it bounced on my concrete floor, and I quickly plugged it all back together, and I saw the blue light turn on for a second. I'm like, oh, it's fine. But normally when we do this podcast, in fact, when we do D&D, and I don't know what I'm going to do for D&D now, when we do this and the other podcasts, my computer has a hard time with Zoom. It just dies. It locks up my computer, which even as we were getting set up, it happened, which is why we changed to this lovely setup, because it works and it doesn't kill my computer. So they can't see me, but I'm running a remote version of Zoom on another computer so that, yes, we're all John Cena, so that it doesn't crash the streaming computer. And so then I tried to plug everything back in the way it was, I tried to swap out the cable to see if the cable was the problem. I lost the cable within 3 feet of where I was, and literally couldn't find it for 35 minutes. I was white hot mad, and then I was gonna cry, and then it was a bad time. Lexi came and helped me. She looked, we couldn't find it. I was losing my freaking mind. How I have a pocket dimension that eats stuff. I did eventually find the cable. It's still not working. So the capture card is DED dead.
Oof.
Oh, crap. And Enshrouded starts Wednesday. I don't...
Maybe pick one up at your local Best Buy.
Capture card? No, I can't afford it right now.
Yeah.
Because...
I was just thinking maybe they'd have a cheap one.
I'm going to have to figure it out. Anyways, yay. And welcome to Gamersledge Podcast. Let's start like we always do. All the time that I had allotted to try and encapsulate all the time we've been off, that's just gone. I didn't get anything done. So my list is going to be super freeform rambling. What are you doing, Dave?
Teams is randomly just zooming us up and down to try to make us fit the chairs, so it's a bit like Alice in Wonderland here.
And it's like,
so,
oh my God, you're
just
huge.
playing with it now.
And then it's like a MODOK.
And now you're so small.
Well, now he's gonna talk like this because he's
Okay, so let's start with what you've been up to for the last 2.5 months. Dave, we'll start with you.
Bad choice. So I've been playing a lot of old stuff lately. Old but new, sort of, in a weird sort of way. Did you ever see one of these? Whoops.
I will remind you that we are an hour late already.
Yeah.
So no, I have not seen that.
Okay, so this is a what you call it? A hyper mega tech.
I created a whole bunch of stuff
Super
for my
Pocket
streaming
is
on
what they
whatever
call
when
it.
Enshrouded
There's two of them.
Stars.
There's a Taito one and there's a Capcom one, preloaded with arcade classics that you all know and love. But it also takes Evercade cartridges. So like this one's the Commodore 64 Collection 1. So playing a lot of old stuff on there.
So,
But the key
I
on
am
that one is
downloading
that
Warcraft.
unit is cheaper than a standard Evercade, right? So
It is what is Mark shaking?
the Crodad.
Crodad is
So, what
re-downloading
they-
Warcraft. Sorry,
What? Wait, what? I did what?
he's downloading Warcraft.
like the
Oh,
original RTS or World of or
I'm guessing it's World of.
Ah.
And I'm like, just because Shank makes a bad choice, Crodad, doesn't mean you need to as well.
Crodad.
You
Wow.
can just say no.
I've heard this last expansion and stuff has been great, but I'm not gonna dip my toe in it. So anyway,
I like how
Dave,
everybody-
carry on.
The Crodad.
Yes.
I've been waiting for a reason. Lol.
I started playing Super Metroid on the Switch for some reason.
Nice.
I don't think I've ever actually finished that game.
Wow.
Yeah, which I'm
Good shot, dog.
realizing
I've
I was
been
like,
playing
wait a minute,
Path
I
of
never really
Exile.
played Super Metroid. Played the first one, played all the Game Boy ones and all that kind of stuff. Apparently, Super Metroid just kept getting put on the back burner. So I'm playing that and having a good time with it. Prince of Persia,
The new one?
something Crown something.
But the new one.
Yes, the new one. I picked that up on the Switch, and I was playing that tonight before this started. And really cool, graphics great, Metroidvania, kind
Play
of
like
stuff.
the old Prince of Persia.
No, very, very much faster. But it's done Metroidvania style. So, if you like that kind of game, which it's my favorite sub mini genre, whatever, you're gonna like it. I know a lot of people that were gonna pass on it, and all of a sudden reviews came out, all great. Picked it up day one, and everybody's been happy with it. Apparently, it's some cool quality of life stuff. I haven't experienced it yet in the game, but like, if you're in a room, like remember in like these Metroidvania games, like you got to go back, you got to backtrack a lot, and you're like, oh, I don't have the thing to do the thing that I got to do here, so like I got to go here and then come back. Apparently, like they let you take like a screenshot of the room so you know exactly what you need, to get back to that room and stuff. What the hell?
It's like we're on a NFL post game show or something.
Not only that, but also like
Why is it so far away?
I don't know.
Why am I
A
like
lot
giant?
of
You guys are not.
shot, dog. No,
If we just like put our arms back here, it's gonna look like Weekend at
the
Bernie's.
Crodad. LOL, you need the last super one.
Yeah, it does look like you're. Yeah, you're right, Crow. It does. We do need a Last Supper one. That is correct. I'm listening, Dave. Please continue.
I was talking.
Yes.
Yes. Metroidvania of Prince of Persia, really good quality of life where you don't have to go back and forth all the time.
Yeah, well, he pays attention. All right. So, yeah, good. Get. I think there's been some TV shows. I started watching
Crodad.
Fargo from the
Prince of
beginning.
Persia. That new
Oh.
one looks fun.
This is definitely more Weekend at Bernie's. Mark, can you just do this a little bit?
How is the War Room one the best one? that boggles my mind.
The Crodad. Amazing.
I'm just gonna try this one.
Oh God.
No,
That's the view.
it is. It's like there's a view, all right, but this is
I feel so.
okay. I'm going back to the UNSC war room here.
Is that what it's called?
That's literally, it says UNSC on the back.
Oh, okay.
Wait, why didn't it go?
Oh,
Too late. You've used that one already. You can't use it anymore. It's one-time use only.
It is Microsoft. There's probably some weird.
Nope. There it goes.
There we go.
There we go.
It's just so dumb. But you don't look like we get at Bernie's now, so you kind of gotta have to go with it. These are reflections cool off the glasses.
What else you been doing, Dave?
I don't know. So I watch some movies.
What'd you watch?
Well, since it's been like a year since we've talked, there was like some Batman Christmas special that dropped, animated.
Oh, okay.
All about, it was basically a Damien story. And it was way better than it had any right being.
Oh, are we all caught up on What If?
No.
I think so.
I would say, so What If is one of my favorite comics of all time.
Yes.
And
easily.
Season 1 completely lived up to it. I would say Season 2 was a little weaker, but not unenjoyable in the least.
It was. The thing that kind of annoyed me about the second
Just remember, Matt hasn't seen all of them.
I know, but he still knows that there's like a continuing story through a couple of them. And it just seemed like there was a lot dedicated to that. And I'm at odds with that because I love the characters that were coming back. But part of the thing I also loved about What If is that it would just tackle all kinds of crazy stuff with different characters that you're not always familiar with. And it seemed like it was just like, well, yeah, if you just went through a series of that, just give her series.
Right.
Nobody would complain because it's awesome.
Right.
So
you're not wrong. But I think that might be what they're setting up with this, to be honest.
Which, fine. But, for What If, I want all different crazy stuff.
And she'll get more seasons than She-Hulk. So there you go.
That's criminal. She-Hulk was good.
We are in the apparently minority on that. Hi, Ashley. Welcome to the stream.
Oh, hey. Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude because we're about to yell.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I don't get it. What is the problem that people have with that? I don't understand.
I think...
Like, it was great. It was hilarious. It was...
I think there were enough vocal minority complainers that it poisoned the well for everybody else. That's what I really feel. Like, I enjoyed it. Was it my favorite one ever? No. Did I think it did some clever things? Yes. Did I think it was exactly what it should have been for She-Hulk? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they did a great job with it.
Yeah. I hope she's wrong. I hope they got... I think she got too strong too fast. She was actually pretty toned down from how strong she actually is. So that's why, that's one of the things she's a lot stronger in the comics. A lot stronger in the comics.
A bit.
So,
especially she goes savage.
The Crow Dad. I also really enjoyed Loki season 1.
Oh,
haven't seen anything.
So I enjoyed Loki season 2. I did. I like time travel stories. That's one of my favorite things.
Some progression.
And I liked the characters.
I just want to see
and
Fiona fight.
I just want to see She-Hulk and Fiona fight. Not wrong there. I liked, I guess season 2. I guess the best way to say for Loki, because I don't know if everybody's caught up, and it's fine if you're not. I'm not going to do any spoilers. they were obviously trying to get from A to B and needed a way to do so.
But I also think that they needed to clean up a mess.
Yes, but I'm not really sure they did.
They totally did.
I mean,
it gives the opening for cleaning of messes.
Yes, it does give the opening for cleaning of messes. I just hope that we never not see that Loki character again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna get him back for stuff.
I'm pretty sure too, but I wouldn't be surprised at anything at this point.
Yeah, he'll show back up. Don't even worry about that. Don't even spread hateful rumors like that.
No hateful rumors. No hateful rumors. I mean, he's the one who said he was done with the character after that, so
and then subsequently has kind of rolled that back.
Yeah, because they probably offered a bunch of money.
Yes,
he is very likable in the role as a goodish guy. I agree, Crodad. I have not started Echo. Have not watched any of that yet.
I haven't started yet either.
One episode left? I don't know, one or two. It's only 5 episodes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Wow,
yeah,
that's a short one.
It's the start of their spotlight thing, right? That was their whole thing they were going to do with side story for smaller characters. So it doesn't even have the fanfare at the beginning. It's got a totally different intro because it's specifically Marvel Studios Spotlight. And so yeah, it's short, easily accessible. It recaps all you need to know in the first half of episode 1. You can have watched 0 Marvel stuff before, and it recaps everything you need to know in the first half of episode 1.
Okay.
It's not bad.
We're just going out of order. You just throw out when you think of something that you saw, throw it out, because I'm gonna lose the stuff that's in my brain if I don't.
I know. Do we need to talk wrestling? I mean,
real quick before. So, there goes Matt. So the biggest thing is, as of today, New Japan has announced that Okada's contract is done on the 31st of January. AEW looks like they've got the highest initial bid for Okada, over the E. So, if you're not aware, New Japan is in some serious trouble right now. Not that it's going to be the death knell for the company. I don't think the company's going to go under, but they are hurting for money. COVID really killed them, and now the 2 places that they are most known for, Korakuen Hall and the Tokyo Dome, both have initiatives to raise and put apartment buildings on them. So, yeah, basically they're like entire like stuff is going to be gone. And now Tanahashi is the president of the company now. Yeah. So he's now the CEO, which is, I mean, if you want to look at it, Inoki, I think it's a good thing overall because he has been working behind the scenes in the office for years. So it's not like he's unfamiliar with what needs to happen. But
Crodad, is there anybody
it does seem like
Crodad, I mean March.
Crodad, Tiny Painting Desk and Harley both are in that area. But yes, it seems like they're going through a period of transition, and they're losing both Ospreay and Okada in the same quarter, let alone year. That's huge. I really hope Okada ends up in AEW. That will make my decade. And Kenny gets well and comes back soon, and wrestling has been pretty good, pretty doggone good. And Tony Khan said he was going to take a more sports-based approach. So now it's starting to feel like what I originally hoped it was, which was less storylines and more sports-based. And the Continental Classic was flipping amazing.
I like that. The Crodad.
They got to do both.
Sports-based approach.
Do they?
Yeah.
I would not be upset if they're the New Japan where they tell all the stories really in the ring.
Which is fine and great. And I love that kind of stuff, but don't take away the story stuff for the people that can do it. That's what, like, what anytime you see, like, Kenny when he was up there doing the thanks for coming out and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We always entertain you. We have a smorgasbord of wrestling for you. If you like this, you got this. You like this, you like it. Don't take that away, because that's very, like, when I was going to, like, ECW back in the day,
as they do at WWE.
That's what they were doing. They were bringing in, like, old wrestlers, new, pushing new wrestlers, new styles, bringing in, styles from all over, bringing in the Lucha guys and all that kind of stuff. Like, that was all there. That's what they did. Like, AEW to me feels like ECW with, a budget. If they had a budget back then,
Like, I love
or you could counter WCW without Russo.
yeah.
No, I agree, Crodad. Some of the drama is nice. Like, I like the Tony Storm stuff more than I should. She's kind of hilarious, low key.
No, it's brilliant.
Yeah, but I can't wait for Hater to come back so we can see them pound on each other in the way that they can only do as ex-Stardom Joshi. So, okay. Anything else you want to add about the pay-per-view is great. I can't wait. We have to wait till March for another one. It's driving me insane. Other than that, I don't really have a whole lot to say about, other than I think it's been on an uptick in a way that it hasn't felt like that in a while. So I'm glad to see it come back this way.
I'm definitely here for Swerve's Ascension.
Oh my God, yes. 1,000% yes. I mean, I think he is one of the most interesting. No one moves like him in the ring. Not in any way, shape, or form. I want to see Swerve versus Ospreay. That's all I want to see this next year.
Yeah, well, you had it before. They did a dance-off. Go look it up. It's funny.
Yes, not what I'm talking about.
Yes, but yeah, that's going to be awesome. There was a show on.
I do think it would be a good fight.
I saw it. I was like watching Dark Side of the Ring on Hulu, and then it recommended another show. It was called like Tales from the Territories.
Oh God!
Did you see that one?
No, I didn't, but I can imagine.
Oh God, it's fantastic. It's all these like old stories about like how like Abdul the Butcher had to act like he was like not from this country when he just wanted to order a burger,
right.
Stuff like that. But it's kind of like all the old heads like talking about stuff that went on, a lot of crazy stuff, like people pulling guns on people after the shows and everything because they hated them so much in the ring. And it's just like the one guy, I think Jeff Jarrett was talking about how like it would come out to like 4 flattened tires all the time.
That does remind me, on Netflix, we've made it halfway through the season of The Wrestlers, which is the OVW Al Snow show.
How is that? Is it good?
It both makes Al Snow look like a genius and a lunatic.
Well, yeah, it sounds about right.
I mean, he's basically trying to do TV with a budget and hold the whole place together, and then you've got the investors who just want to make money, and it's like that constant push and pull, and you can see what he's dealing with. It's nuts. I would not want to be in those shoes.
He is just that.
So
yeah, you need to have like billions to make that life easy. But then there was this other show where it was they were basically following like young people getting into the business. But it's funny because the show's from a few years ago. So the young people they were covering, a very young Swerve talking about how he's, doing all, it was, when he was doing death matches and stuff like that. And he was talking about how he developed that he could do every style.
At the end of the world.
And that's what he incorporates into, his thing. But it was like he was a kid, when they were doing this. They were following 2 people, like, trying to make it big in Mexico. Ray Phoenix and Penta.
Global warming, etc.
But it was they were following Ray, and Ray was doing like interviews and everything, like talking about stuff.
In a murder mystery.
Young Darby Allin, or younger Darby Allin was like showing the things. So it's like it was crazy, like seeing them, like just starting off on like one of these shows. So that was good stuff.
All right, so we're done with wrestling, so we'll let you be on that, Matt. I started
Great for a guy
Delicious in Dungeon,
murder programs,
which is a Netflix anime, wholly and only on Netflix, and it is basically a.
The Crow Dad. Delicious in Dungeon is good.
It's basically kind of a how do I say it? It's a food show. It's a food anime wrapped around a D&D plot line. And the general synopsis is that party goes down into the lower levels of a dungeon. They fight a red dragon. The red dragon wins. Eats the soldier's sister, and right before she dies, she sends them all outside the dungeon. Sends the 3 remaining living ones outside the dungeon. But because it's a world with magic, he's got till she's digested in order to save her by the dragon. And so, but they have no money, and so they start looking at eating the monsters in the dungeon and how they can prep them. So it's kind of like a food prep show in an anime format. It's interesting. It's I don't know how to explain it, but it seems to be a genre that's quickly emerging.
I'm on board.
Surprisingly, I am too. It's pretty good.
I cannot believe from the description you gave that I'm on board, but once you started, like, yeah,
it's weird enough, and yet. It's interesting because they have all the perspectives. Like the girly mage doesn't want to eat the gross dungeon food, even though it's just like the other food she's eating. When she starts to think about it, and they have those discussions and stuff, so it's kind of interesting. Iron Chef of Medieval Times, kind of. Except it's not a competition; they're just doing it to survive. But I don't know. I've finished like 5 million anime because at 4:30 in the morning when I'm done with work, or 5 in the morning when I'm done with work, I'll sit down and just like veg for an hour before I go to sleep.
Reminds me of
And so I've finished so much.
Isn't that a comp?
Yeah, it reminds me of Food Wars meets Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Yes. Which, by the way, I did find out that Is It Wrong to Try and Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon's new season is on Hulu, not Crunchyroll.
Yeah, there's been a few of them that have done that.
I was very surprised about that.
The Crow Dad.
And I shotgunned the whole season in like a day and a half. So
The Crow Dad. I really enjoyed that anime.
Oh, I love that anime. It's one of my favorites.
And now, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Hulu and Disney Plus's stuff has started cross-pollinating.
Yes.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about anime,
yes.
Finished season 2 of
Gutshot Dog.
3. I guess it's technically season 3, but it's very weirdly marked, of Tokyo Revengers. Makes me cry, Mark No Lake.
He's so dumb. Like,
but he's lovably dumb.
Yeah, but he's painful how dumb he is. When I'm like wanting to scream at the TV because he's so dumb,
I've been
that's a problem.
Eternity.
He's not dumb. He's just overly naive.
Only balls the feels.
But yes.
Yes, To Your Eternity, not for the faint of heart. That is a hell of an anime.
I still haven't watched that yet.
You really need to, but bring tissues. Not for that sounds wrong. Bring tissues because you're gonna cry.
Yeah.
Don't
Yes.
okay,
Not the hentai kind of tissues.
Yeah, not those kind of tissues.
Finished this last season of Spy Family, which was really good. It's not the type of show you would typically think I would watch, but it's really good. It's really well done.
The Crow Dad.
Cass, my wife, even loves it, and so much that she said, "You know what? I want the manga of this." So she
Spy
got
Family is good.
a few volumes of manga for Christmas of Spy Family.
The
So
Crow Dad. Only seen first
really well
season
done.
so far.
Finished up the season of JJK. This season was kind of weak. I
Wait,
don't know
were
how
there
much of it
more?
was- just season 2. Just season 2.
Oh, so you're behind.
No. Well, I mean, I've been finished with it for a while, but we haven't met for a while. So there's season 1, then there's the movie, then there's season 2.
Right. I think
Yeah,
I'm
so
done with season 2. I think I've like shotgunned the whole thing.
It's been done for.
Okay. I just want to make sure there were not new ones that I wasn't aware of. Okay.
No. It's been done for a few weeks. Overall, I don't know how much of it was the chaos at Mappa and how much of it was just kind of the bizarre culmination of storylines. But this season didn't. It had some great action in it, but it just didn't hit quite the way season 1 in the movie did.
I agree.
But
I still think he's one of the greatest, like, OP characters that have ever been in anime.
Yeah, it kind of works out that way. And then we watched the movie Suzume. That dropped a couple months back. Very Ghibli-esque, but it's not.
Profit profanity.
Yeah,
Anime.
I don't know how to explain it without spoiling it, but it's very well done. It's very pretty, very well acted. But yeah. And then we just started Solo Leveling, which is one that's this season. It's 2 episodes in, I think. It's based on a webtoon. And if you don't know what webtoons are, they're largely Korean comics that are published online, few panels at a time. They just go on forever. This one, so it's kind of funny because they're speaking Japanese, but they all have Korean names. So it gets it's a little
manhwa
offsetting in my brain because I know what Korean sounds like and I know what Japanese sounds like, and Korean names speaking Japanese just throws my brain for a loop for some reason. But it's okay so far. I don't know. It is highly anticipated, but it's another one of those kind of, hey, there's a guy who's underpowered and he ends up going in these dungeon things, and it looks like he's going to end up becoming like the uber OP guy, because of course that's how it's going to work out. So yeah, that's the main. And I'm sure there's a few other things that I've watched in there that I can't remember, but that's what I remember.
Okay, so Tokyo Revengers, I watched through season 1, episode 14. ReZero Starting Life in Another World, I shotgunned all 50 episodes. I am trying to pull up my watch history so that I can tell you the rest of them. I watched all of Jujutsu Kaisen.
I also love that slime anime.
Yes, I also love the slime anime. I'm just waiting for new episodes of it. My daughter left the nest and returned an S rank adventure. Watched all 14 episodes of that. That was really good, actually. I'm interested to see where they're going with that. Rising the Shield Hero, I think we've finished all of season 3 now.
I know where they're going with that.
Or the twin with the old.
To get an S rank.
The Crow Dad.
No, she's already there.
I don't know where to tell you.
Tokyo Revengers. Deadmount Deathplay is another one that I've been watching, which is it's kind of a reverse isekai in that a necromancer isekais himself to a new world rather than some external force doing it to him.
Hero season 3 was boring.
Shield Hero season 3, yeah, it didn't have a lot of action. It's a lot of setup for season 4. I don't disagree with that, but I still like it very much. This was basically a gather the troops season, introduce new characters, supporting characters, etc. Yeah, and I did the 50 episodes of ReZero, all within the time since we last looked.
I've only seen the original.
Normally I would accuse you of time compression, but since it's been like 4 months, I can't really do that.
I finished all of In Another World with my smartphone, which I think was 24 episodes, 2 seasons. That was good too.
Vash is one of my favorites.
I'm looking to see what else I did. Mouth Death Play, got through season 1 and 2 of that.
Profit profanity. Our show is sick.
The Crow Dad. Also a Kiko from Bleach. Same English voice actor.
Oh, there was a kind of comedy one that I watched that was pretty decent called The Great Cleric. I think there's only 12 episodes of that one season. But that was actually pretty good as well. It's another isekai. I did Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. That was pretty good. I think that's got 2 seasons as well of like 20 episodes, something like that.
Been a lot of anime recently about people not having jobs or having crappy jobs.
Yeah, and then whatever it was that Keegan recommended me on Hulu. I
can never remember the name of it.
Yeah. Anyways, I did check it out. It was pretty good. It's pretty good. Watch all that, and that's pretty much been all of my anime. Which is really the only thing I've watched besides we finished the Great British Bake Off for this year.
The Crow Dan.
And
the test, the reincarnation one.
Finished The Voice.
I really enjoyed that.
And yeah, Jobless, the reincarnation one. That's it. Credit.
I since you mentioned it earlier, I'll just throw out. I really like season 2 of Loki. I've watched it twice.
Wow.
So I really liked it. I like what they did with it. I get what you're saying because it does feel like all of a sudden there's kind of a left-hand turn where it wasn't really setting up for a left-hand turn, but that could also just be called a twist. So I don't know if they changed gears because of things or if that was intended to be the plot the whole time. I don't know. I'm really enjoying Echo. I wasn't sure about it. It just at first, especially, I wasn't sure, but I'm really liking it actually. And then I found out that the actress that plays Maya is from Wisconsin, so that just makes it all the better. It started What If, not very far. Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I figure I'm the only one watching that of this crew.
Dan is.
Dan is, yeah, but of the 3 of us, I assume I am. I read the books back with Mitchell when they first dropped way back when, and that's the last time I read them. So as I'm watching, it starts out really pretty close on, but as these things tend to, the longer it goes on, the more it deviates. And some of the deviations aren't just, hey, we had to cut this. Some of them are very intentional. Rick Riordan, the author, and his wife are heavily involved in it, so they're doing it intentionally, and partially because adaptations have to be different, but I think it's also to play with the people who do know the story from the books. Hey, this is different. This might not be what you were expecting. Something else might be going on here. This last episode, almost 100% different. Almost 100% original from what happened in the book. And
are you good with that, or is that the detriment, do you feel?
I'm torn, right? Because I would have liked to have seen a faithful adaptation. I would like to see what a faithful adaptation would have looked like on screen. But I'm also enjoying this interpretation, so it's a good interpretation. It's a good adaptation.
Let me ask you this.
But yeah.
This is my most important question.
Okay.
I watched that trailer. I don't know why they were holding the children at gunpoints for the voiceovers. Because they were bad.
All their first major acting jobs, and it's most obvious in the first episode. They must have filmed the episodes in order because you can see them just getting more and more comfortable as the series goes on.
Okay.
So
it's not that way all the way through. That's just how that starts. Because that trailer, I watched that trailer and I'm like, there's someone holding this child at gunpoint to read these lines. And I don't know why they're doing that. Why Disney? Why?
Bravo on them for actually going for kids for the right age, right? Because in the movie they aged them up like significantly. In the movie, and that was always one of the problems with it because it just doesn't make as much sense when you bring someone older into it. But so bravo on them for getting like kids of the right age to play the characters that they're playing. So I thought that was good. But yeah, I think it's a lot of them. It's their first major job, and they're learning, right? And it's trial by fire to a degree. There is a funny part, though, if you watch the first episode, at least just to see if you even care. There's a scene where one character screams at another character. The character responding to the scream is not acting. He was literally terrified that the other character had lost their mind and was going to kill him.
Nice.
So it's kind of funny there, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm now intrigued to see where they're going with it. How in line is it going to end up, or how different is it going to be, right? Because presumably they want to go through the whole sequence. It's 5 books, right? So presumably they want to go through 5 seasons, one for each book, and it would be interesting to see if you deviate too much from book 1, how does the rest of the series get affected?
I tell you, the one thing that I keep remembering and then forgetting about that has completely slipped through cracks is the Wheel of Time season 2.
Oh, season 2. I never got around to season 1. Season 2 dropped already?
Yeah, season 2's dropped, and I have not watched a single episode of it. And I loved season 1.
I was just ready to say, was that show good? I never.
Yeah, no, it was real good. It did make some deviations, and they're deviations that are like, okay, how are they going to fix this plot? Because there were definitely people in different places than where they will be in the books. So it's like they've made some major changes. Is the short form like it's real close to the books, which I really liked up until like the very end, and then there's something that definitely did not happen in the books that is going to throw a monkey wrench in the storytelling of this, and I'm real interested to see how they fix that.
That was so. You guys have both seen, I assume, the movie Aragon came out forever ago.
Yeah.
You've not seen it? Okay. Well, based on the book, or adapted from the book, right? So I had never read the books. I am leaking into my book section here, but I started reading it at my oldest son's insistence. Started reading that it's the inheritance cycle, right? So I've read the first book, Aragon. I've moved on to the second book, but last night I decided, you know what? Aragon's on Disney Plus. I'm going to watch it just because I don't remember. I know that the book and the movie were different, but I was going to go back and see. And yeah, everything they edited out was like completely key to the continuing of the series. So it's like, I don't know. It's almost intentional. It's almost like you couldn't pick the things to edit out and cut and modify that would make continuing the series more impossible than what they did. Like, I don't even know how they did. I mean, I get it. The second book had just come out when the movie dropped, right? So I don't know if they had read ahead. I don't know if the kid that wrote the book was involved in it at all or what, but it was blisteringly like they cut. There's literally no connective tissue to go to the second book with here. I don't know if that's why they never made another movie, or if the movie tanked, or what happened. But
I'm pretty sure it did not do well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not great anyway. I mean, there's like half the movie is just lifted scenes from Star Wars, and the other half is like.
Let me put it this way: I'm almost positive it is either a Riff Tracks or a Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh, it's not that bad, but okay, I could.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that bad.
It wasn't that good either.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it wasn't Mystery Science Theater 3000 bad.
I'll have you know, Puma Man was a great movie.
I don't even know what that is. Did either of you guys watch any of the Doctor Who specials?
Yes, I watched all the Doctor Who specials.
You watched all the Doctor Who specials.
The weeks they dropped.
What did you think?
So without any spoilers, cheating.
Special 3?
Yes, Special 3. Cheating. But at the same time, I'm weirdly okay with it.
It's Doctor Who, man. What can I say, you know?
It's like, I do feel like this is really complicated for me because I'm not a diehard Whovian, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah, that's why I asked what you're.
But I do have my doctor, and the way they cheats what makes Doctor Who interesting, in a way. So I'm not sure I like the theoretical repercussions of that, but at the same time, there are so many people attached to the outcome of that I don't think it's a wrong thing to do. Right? And
and it played against expectations too.
It
right?
did. It did.
So,
And I thought that Neil Patrick Harris as the toy maker was chef's kiss.
well, that's all right then.
Yeah, just nuts. In the best way possible. I hope it's not the last we've seen of him, because man, that kind of energy is kind of the thing I think the show needs from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I enjoyed it, and overall, I really like the new Doctor so far.
Yeah, me too. Special 4, I thought was the Christmas special. I thought was great. Great introduction to the new cast. Some interesting hints being dropped.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll be hearing about Mavity quite a bit.
I mean, it's weird the things they choose to hang on to, right? It's like they're gonna play that one out, but then other things they'll just let drop. It's like really weird, but at the same time, I'm down for it. It's good. I like it.
Yep. I love the new TARDIS interior. That new interior. I just love it as a classic Whovian. It's the best of both worlds, right? It's like I love it. I'm not sold on his sonic screwdriver.
Is it a freaking mouse?
Bothering me. It's a freaking TV remote, is what it is.
No, I swear to God, it's a mouse.
It could be somewhere in between the two. It's different. I'll give it that. It's
is
unique.
that.
It's something that has not been done before. It'll probably grow on me because it's still going to be the same old Deus Ex that it always is. But
so I feel like the new Doctor is more id than ego, which I don't think we've ever really had.
I'll be back.
Yeah, I mean, there's been elements of it in a few, but yeah, I can see what you're saying there.
I mean, before Tennant, they were all reserved British. He was almost more of a super spy that traveled in time than he was like.
Well, not Tom Baker. I mean,
well,
that's my Doctor.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of them were very reserved, in my opinion.
That's true.
And I think that this is the first. When have you ever seen the Doctor cutting loose on a dance floor for New Year's? Stripped half to the. Yeah.
He's feeling himself. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I'm all right with this. I think that he's like if you
he's
look
the Doctor who healed, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, because all the trauma that's happened, he had to be something different to heal, and I think that's actually kind of a nice thing. So I'm really excited to see where they go with this series and how he acts differently.
Yeah. No, I think he's a great choice. I think they've set up some really interesting stuff, and we know we're getting at least 2 series with him, right? Because they've already started filming the second series. First episode of the first series hasn't even aired yet.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm really intrigued. I think you get a kick out of the Christmas special, Dave. You should pop on Disney Plus and watch the Doctor Who Christmas special.
I was just trying to say, are these all on Disney Plus?
Yes,
yeah,
they are.
These 4 specials are, and then this next season is going to be on Disney Plus in the US.
And episode 4 has a song in it that is the first time that I've gone, wow, this is the most effed up Doctor Who episode I've seen in a good while.
It's not the first time he's broken out in song, though. I mean, as a character.
No.
But
No. It's not the breaking out in song that's the issue here. It's the content of the song.
Content of the song.
I was like, wow, this is pretty dark, and I'm here for it.
It's kind of like those 50s songs that were all depressing, but they were all doop doop doopy doop. But you listen to the lyrics, and you're like, "We all died driving off a cliff." Yeah, kind of the same vibe.
I love going back and hearing lyrics on stuff and going like, "Whoa."
You will do that take listening to this song easily.
Yo. I've watched a ton of stuff, but I can't. I wrote down what I could remember, and that was my list.
Okay, so Game of the Year. It's something
Fancy by Reba?
Fancy by Reba. Yes, Fancy is a messed up song. You are correct, Good Shot Dog. I'm not even a country aficionado, and I know about Fancy by Reba. So Game of the Year. we're doing it different this year. We are actually opening it up to the community. That doesn't mean you guys don't get to vote or shouldn't vote. You need to vote. But to do so, if you type !GOTY for Game of the Year in the chat, it will bring up the link to the Google form. You will have to sign into Google because I didn't want a bunch of spam entries. But it will take you to where you need to go to vote. We didn't go overboard with categories. I didn't do drivers or like driving games because really Forza was the only thing that came out last year.
Or 24?
No, this is 23. Game of the Year 2023. So we're voting on last year's Game of the Year for the site and the community. So that's it. And I think there's only like 6 questions. The first one is Game of the Year, and then it gets down into some subgenres beyond that. And then a couple things about, our upcoming schedule and content. What would you like to see? That type of stuff. And I can't promise that we're going to do everything that people list, but I'm going to take all that into consideration and see what we can do. So I am currently somewhat stressing about how I'm going to even run Enshrouded on Wednesday and D&D on Monday. I may have to
delay.
No,
Defer.
I will probably.
I bet if you just spend a couple minutes with it tomorrow and unhook everything and plug it back in.
Yeah, that's what I did tonight while I was freaking out. But I'm looking at it, and it keeps flashing a little bit for a little bit, and then it just dies. So not a good sign. No, I know you're going to be making a lot of Enshrouded content. That's good, Gutshot Dog. We can overlap. It's all good. We can play together. That's what I'm hoping. So I'm going to get a dedicated server for it. It does look like if you clear a world boss, however, then it won't be there on a private server.
I hope so too.
So we may have to make some ground rules for the server, like no beating of bosses when everybody's not online. But other than that, I don't mind for anything else. So if you can like progress mining or building a town or whatever, I don't care about any of that. But yes, that'll start on 9 p.m. on Wednesday, and I figure hell or high water. I can't get one of those crappy ones because most of them don't actually capture in 4K. I mean, I guess I don't need to capture in 4K, but I at least want 1080p 60.
Dude, there's 1,000 hours of content, no doubt.
So I'll have to look on Amazon and see what I can do. Hell, maybe I'll just get the cheap Avermedia one that's like $75. I can probably pull that one off. Oh yeah, the other thing is we've been playing a ton of Magic.
Dog. Mark, what CPU and motherboard do you have?
CPU and motherboard? Ooh, I'd have to go look at that. CPU, I think, is an i9 12,000 something. Device manager.
Gutshot Dog. Is it 12K?
Yeah, it should be. Properties. No.
Gutshot Dog.
Details.
Okay, and Mobo.
Hold on one second. Is it system that tells me that? I think it's system. Hold on. System. So it's, I'm sorry. It's an i9 10900. And motherboard is going to be a little trickier. I'm not sure where to find that off the top of my head. I'll have to look that up later because I'm not sure.
Gutshot Dog. 10,900.
Yes, that is correct.
I don't look at my hardware very often.
I'll probably have to go back to the order to find out the motherboard, which should be in my email, but I haven't got the... Oh, actually, no, I guess the motherboard would not be listed on the About page for my stats. Cyber power. Oh no, I need to go to mail. Cyber. Yeah, because I use the AverMedia external devices, which have always been good because they've got 4K pass-through, so I can record in 4K if I'm going to do post-produced stuff. PC. What would that have been? That would have been that one. Yes. So my
When I'm
motherboard.
asking BC if you have a micro center near you, they always have sales, but they also offer walk-in repair.
Yeah, they don't have a micro center here, and I'm not sure that they would work on a third-party product like that. I'm probably just gonna have to replace it. It's more of a commodity item because it's just an external box that's made by AverMedia, and the new one's like $300, and I don't really have the funds for that right now, so I may go for the cheaper one that should be around like $99. I think I can probably swing that and get that here by tomorrow so that I'm ready to go for Monday. That'll probably be the case, yes. Anyways, so yes, we talked about Game of the Year. We are playing Magic more regularly. It's gonna be a Wednesday/Thursday night thing, or Fun with Friends Friday, most likely. If either of you would like to join, we'd be happy to help you. If you want to learn, we'd be happy to help you. No pressure or
First one's free.
100%. You can blame Daniel. Daniel's the one that got me back in after being out for 10 years.
Yeah, that is a rabbit hole I'm never going down again.
It's been so, because we're just doing it friendly, we've been printing a lot of proxies and not buying cards and seeing if they actually work first and then buying them after that. So it's not as bad. It's not like I'm buying boxes to open them. Well, okay, I did buy one box to open, but that was for stream. That was for stream, and I'm actually taking it and trading it all in for store credit. So it's not like I'm going to use it for the cards I need for the decks, so that I want. So it's not as bad as that, but yeah. Yep. And I'm very surprised at how strong some of these pre-con commander decks are. By the way, we are playing commander. We are not doing modern or anything like that. So these are 100 card decks where every card is different other than land. So if you put 30 some odd land, you know, if it's not basic land, you can only have one of it in the deck, but which is a lot more palpable for a lot of people, and it's meant to be, hey, get together with your friends and play cards and somebody wins, yay, and how's it work? So it's not as cutthroat as like standard constructed or anything like that. And we've got a good array of people that are playing now, so I'm very happy about that. So that's probably going to be on Thursday nights moving forward, with Fun with Friends Friday being Magic also when it rolls around. HDMI in. Does this thing not have... Yeah, so that's not the thing I need, is the short form. Yep, I'll have to look at this later. What else? Enshrouded, we said drops Wednesday at 9 p.m. Pacific. So we'll be there as soon as it launches. I don't know if the private servers will be up and ready to rent at that time.
Shot dog. Can your GPU not handle the in?
No, so a capture card is necessary whenever you're taking a signal from another computer or a device like a PlayStation. You have to have something that decodes it and then allows it to pass through to the computer. You can't just plug like your PlayStation output HDMI cable into a video card, there's no in on the video card. Those are all export only signals. That's why you need a capture card. And it can take the form of a box that goes between your PlayStation and your computer that sends the signal to the PlayStation, to the computer for recording and capture here on stream, or it can be an actual capture card that goes in your computer and has HDMI inputs specifically for going in as opposed to sending the signal out. And I've got one of the boxes, and that's what got knocked on the floor yesterday. And is no longer working. So I can no longer capture from my other computer or my PlayStation. Which is bad because the other computer is how we normally run this stuff.
Are you guys doing Pal World at all?
So we have a couple people. Justin is playing Pal World, and there are a couple other people. I've heard good things about it. I've also heard some people say it's really weird to cut up your Pokemon after you capture them.
Well, that is one of the things you can do, yes. Mitchell's actually playing it right now. So,
first of all, that's not even
that would,
It's
bring that
great.
up.
For Pokemon Go.
Well, Pokemon Go, right? But
Well,
yeah.
not Pokemon. Let's Go. So for Pokemon Let's Go, Eevee and Pikachu,
Gutshot
you
dog.
would. That's
But I
how you
already know
level
he'll be
up
on the E.
and increase stats. Is you would go on you would chain catch your Pokemon. So like I made this like monsterish Jigglypuff that can one shot the Elite Four, and no problem whatsoever. And what you do is just kept chaining, catches, and their stats just get better and better and better. And then what you do with all the ones that you've been catching that you're not using, you liquefy them into pellets and feed it back to your other Pokemon. So, yeah.
Yeah,
And
but that one probably still didn't let you catch other trainers in Pokeballs, which you could do in Pal World.
All right, now this is starting to sound interesting. No, it's still good.
Well, you basically can turn your Pokemon into slave labor or food, or just torture them for fun. And
Gutshot dog. It is a cool
You can do the same with people.
Gutshot Dog says it's a cool ass game. Monster Hunter with Pokemon.
Considering it's like early access, it seems pretty solid for an early access game.
Oh, we didn't talk about Once Human. How did I not talk about Once Human? So Once Human will be taking over the Tuesday night slot when it launches, which looks to be August. If you are unfamiliar with this game at all, it's The Division meets Cthulhu meets 7 Days to Die is probably the best way to describe that. So it's got the survival horror aspects of it. They actually do play with insanity as a mechanic in the game, which the more insane you are, the less life you have. So you do need to craft defenses against going insane so that you can actually survive the boss battles and stuff, which is pretty. And the bosses are very well designed. So that will be a permanent staple on Tuesdays. Leading up to that will be Enshrouded, which debuts Wednesday. It goes live Wednesday, but it'll normally live on Tuesdays. Dark and Darker, I think we are officially done with as a community until they do a non-PvP mode, like just a PvE mode, because we all get tired of progressing through the dungeon only to die right before we escape to other players. So that's really frustrating. And I'm not good at PvP anyways. That's not why I'm there. So I'm pretty sure they will eventually smarten up and add a PvE version. But yeah,
Dark and Darker is weird.
I love it. I love the game Gutshot Dog, and it pains me to walk away from it.
It's a toxic game.
But it needs to have a straight PvE version before I'll probably go back to it. So yes, Once Human. Baldur's Gate 3 will probably return on Thursdays at some point. It'll be either or Magic or Baldur's Gate, depending on who we've got showing up and what the overwhelming consensus is. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. So Mondays will be D&D until we finish up this campaign. Then it will be D&D 3 nights a week, or three weeks out of a month, with the fourth being Kingdom Death Monster. So we're going to start a persistent campaign of the most expensive board game in the world, Kingdom Death Monster, and the community can play. And then Tuesdays will be Enshrouded until Once Human launches, and then it will be in Once Human on Tuesdays. Wednesdays will be AEW Dynamite live reactions and reviews, followed by something that probably is not going to be Fortnite, because it will probably be Magic if I can swing it, or maybe more Enshrouded. I am unclear, or it could be something else.
Fortnite just out of favor, just not.
I dreamed
not
about the
feeling it.
stupid elephant storming through a theater.
Just curious. I'm just curious. Like,
So-
you specifically called it out. So
Yeah, no. They've
where the Fortnite touched you.
they've pissed me off in that they haven't expanded the number of clothing item slots in like 2.5, 3 years now.
Oh, I thought they had this last time. It looks
Nope.
like you could add more, but
Nope.
okay.
So I'm still at negative 200 slots. And it's like, why should I ever spend another dime on the game if they're never going to let me use the stuff I buy? But that's only part of it. The other part is it feels like they have lessened the number of people on the map, which I know is not true, but that's the way it feels. But they are sweatier than ever, and the game doesn't feel the same in playing it. I don't know how to explain that. It's not like this is my first foray and I'm okay at the game, but it doesn't seem like it anymore. So I don't know if it's a matchmaking thing, or is it matchmaking because my account age suddenly is it because I'm old and suck? But I've never not in the past. Shut up, Dave.
No, I will say I played with the boys, my two kids,
Gutshot dog. I uninstalled
last
COD
week for a couple of
because I'm
hours,
tired of the
and
trash devs
yeah,
messing it up.
we were fine up to like the final 10, and then it just like go
Yeah.
completely off the rails.
Yep.
And so yeah, I get what you're saying there, because it's like, man, because we tried both. We tried build and zero build, and it was the same in both.
Yep.
So I don't know if they've just attracted back.
I'm
a
completely
certain
out of
audience,
love with their UI for everything, and
the new UI is
it's
tough.
sucktastic, and I'm just like, they're focusing all their energy on this ancillary stuff like the Rock Band mode.
Which was made by Harmonix, I found out.
It
I
was, but
unaware
I've
about
heard it's total trash regardless, and that makes me sad.
I thought it was fine.
Did you
and
also
they're-
see that they're ending Rock Band 4 DLC?
Rock Band 4 DLC ends this month. And they're actually going to be patching in Rock Band controller support to the festivals. Is that what it's called? Whatever the
that's
whatever
good.
the Fortnite mode is called.
That's good. My question is this:
Gutshot dog.
when they say they're
You've got to
stopping
remember
the
the Fortnite is
downloads,
like
that's
6
creating new
games
downloads.
now.
I'm still going to be able to
It's Hump
purchase,
Battle
right?
Royale,
That was my
Lego,
understanding
Rock
from
Band,
the way
Okay.
it was
and
worded.
Rocket
It's just
Racing.
no more new DLC packs. Any existing up until the license, it's the same problem, right? Whenever they
Right.
lose the license, they'll have to delist the pack. But anything that's on the store, it sounded like you should still be able to buy.
Because as soon as I get my paycheck, I'm just going to go get what I want. And the biggest problem I've always had is that I can't add stupid multiple things to a cart and then check out with all of the downloaded songs. I have to go to one song at a time, buy it, go to the next song at a time, and buy it. It's like incredibly tedious.
Yeah.
But since it's going away, I need to do it now and get the stuff I want so that I have it all, because it'll never be available again.
I've thought about the same thing. I haven't talked through with the wife about that yet, but I was definitely going to go at least see what the final bundle was, because I figured, well, even if it's songs I'd never play, I should probably buy the final bundle.
Yeah.
But
And that's my point. That's the long point I was circling around to Gutshot Dog is they're wasting all the dev time on all this ancillary crap rather than making the game better for Fortnite. And so I'm just kind of done right now. I am a very tolerant person. If I can play with my friends and have fun, then I'm not so caring about the.
Doesn't cost me keycap star.
I'm not so much caring about the actual game itself, but I do want the game to be fun. And I'm to the point now where even when I'm playing with friends, I feel the game is not fun. And that's a bad place to be because for how many years now have I played Fortnite? It's forever. And it's always felt fun. So, no, I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy Lego Fortnite. I think that's great for Lego fans that want something like that. That's just not what I'm there for. And so that's why one of the things we tell people when they come through on the Sunday stream is play what you love, because if you don't love it, then that's gonna come across in your stream. And so that's why we're not gonna play it anymore. We're gonna play something else. And it sucks because we've got people who like playing Fortnite with us and with me, and I enjoy playing with them, but hopefully we can find something else to play together. So
yeah, I think we're gonna play enough to get Snake, and then I think that's probably gonna be it for the season.
I'm even like, I don't care. I'm to the point where like Snake would normally be a good draw for me, but I somehow think A, they're not going to have him in a box for an emote, so what's the point there? And B, there's not going to be anybody calling when he dies going Snake. So what are we doing?
I would be surprised if that's not an emote.
I don't think it's going to be
the Snake crying out. But anyway, no, I was just curious because it has been a long while, and it just the last few seasons have not been good. This season at least feels better.
No, but the rewards are trash.
Yeah,
I mean this season, I guess I stopped my $11 a month thing to them a while back, and I didn't even realize it, and I didn't care. So I must have gone like 2 seasons without it now.
Okay. Yeah.
And because I went in this season for the first time, like last Wednesday, and it was like, buy the battle pass. I'm like, wait, what? I don't have the battle pass. And then I looked through the battle pass, and I'm like, just like last battle pass that I actually looked through, there's nothing here I want. So yeah.
No, I get it. It's definitely lost something. I do want to try the Lego mode some point in time because I've heard it's good. I do.
Yeah, I've heard it's good too, but I don't like Lego games, so that's a problem for me.
Well, but it's not. I mean, it's
Minecraft.
It's Minecraft, right? Yeah.
Right. I don't like Minecraft either. This is like literally my problem. This is like why Once Human is such a big deviant blip for me. I don't enjoy those types of games, and I'm only doing it to progress the story. But at least they've made it fun in a way that I've not seen in other games. Like they're constantly giving you like, oh look, you learned a new recipe. Here's your serotonin hit. Here's your reward. Oh look, there's a new recipe for you to do. You want to go do the prerequisites to that? I give you more candy.
It's like
more candy.
It's cool but gets boring.
Yeah, see, even Gutshot Dog says it's like Minecraft. It's cool but gets boring. For the Lego Fortnite.
Yeah.
So
that's fair. Like I don't expect to do it a lot. I would just with my Lego history, I should at least give it a shot just to see.
You should. I would be interested to hear your thoughts on it.
The racing was interesting. It was fun for the 5 races I did. I don't know that I would do it anymore.
Minecraft was cool.
I'm right there with you, Prophet Profanity, and I'm not putting anyone down who likes Minecraft. Like what you like. It's all good. That's the best thing about having a community of people. You got different people who like different things, and I'm all here for it.
Immoruunga Bungu Action JRPG lover.
But yeah. And Prophet, make sure you vote on the Game of the Year stuff. Follow that link and it'll take you to where you can vote for the Game of the Year for the community.
Final Fantasy 16.
Over Baldur's Gate 3. We'll see.
Gutshot Dog. It's not great Lego dynamics, just kind
And
of.
Dave's like,
reskinned my-
no, it was
Profit profanity.
Ray Gun
No,
Heroes
Minecraft is good for
re-release
creative
on some emulator
Profit
platform.
profanity.
There are no
most of us have never
re-releases
heard of.
to vote on the thing. I made sure of that. Because they almost got me with a couple things. And then I'm like, no, wait, that's a re-release. And it was.
I mean, again, technically a different SKU.
But yeah, I'm interested to see how this
Profanity. Listen him gonna pick BG3.
yeah, and that's totally your prerogative, Prophet. I'm also right there with you. But I know Matt will always vote for Final Fantasy 16, which I had to think about it. I think it came out in January of this year, which is crazy. January of last year.
You mean-
Yeah.
No.
That's how long it's been, and that seems like an eternity ago.
Has it been that long? Yeah, I guess it was, wasn't it?
Yep. And I think that's why I didn't get it, is because there were like 6 other games coming out at that time too.
Oh yeah, it was a hectic time. Well, all of last year was like a hectic time. It seemed like stuff was just coming out nonstop.
Do you realize we're like
Profit
30 days out?
Cause that's
ish
the only game I
from
played
Final
over
Fantasy
300
VII
hours
Rebirth.
except for
Yeah, I know.
FF14.
I'm like, oh my god, when am I gonna play that?
I gotta finish Wonder before that hits, and hopefully I'll finish Valhalla, God of War, Ragnarok Valhalla. I'm on the stupid last cycle, and I just keep doing stupid stuff.
Do we have anything else to talk about?
Let's see. We talked about Pokemon with guns.
I think I tracked down what kicked off my love of clear blue plastic.
Oh
What's that?
yeah, this was kind of fun.
So, see, this is a little blast from the past that popped up, and I was just like, oh, I have to have that. Mark, you remember this guy, right?
If
I
we can't
Can't see it. Is it the Beast?
Is it not coming through right?
No, they got too much screen reflection.
Yeah.
It's too much reflection off the plastic. Just show the name,
So,
Crystar.
Crystar.
you don't remember Crystar?
Hold on, I got to see it because I can't see the character. Crystar.
So it was a line of action figures.
Oh my god, was this the this is with the same, was this in the what do they call that?
Or-
Was it the Power Pack and
I don't know if it ever had a comic. Did it actually
It
have
did.
a comic?
yeah, it had a comic,
He'll
but
just be
this is like
Marvel.
early 80s, and I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure this is
I only ever saw the figures.
Yeah. There was a limited series Marvel run. I think it might have been like 4 issues or something like that. Where they were trying something new. And somewhere along the line, Marvel took ownership of the property. so they re-released the figure. But I think that is actually what kicked off my love of clear blue plastics.
So the short form is, okay, it is not part of the Power Pack universe, because around the same time there was a pocket universe where they had the Star Brand and Power Pack and
Oh, yeah, I forgot that was a whole separate.
yeah, that was a whole separate universe, and I was wondering if he was
No.
part of it. He is actually
No.
from a parallel alternate universe, but not the Power Pack Star Brand universe. The reason I asked is because it looks like it fits with those other books, but it is actually its own
profanity.
unique
Okay,
thing.
I answered.
Yeah, that's funny. I didn't even think of that. That totally because it was all around the same time.
Yep.
But yeah, they were these the good guys were crystal figures. There was clear green guy. There was the guy and the bad guys were like fire, magma, monsters. They were just like these molten red blobs of plastic. There was one guy that crossed both. He had short little legs that were like magma, and he was a crystal body. His name was Feldspar. That name was stuck with me, until now.
Surprised Alex didn't end up named Felspar.
Well, no, because I already named my Wi-Fi connection that in house. So that would have been weird.
Ran for 11 issues, and I can probably say I've never seen this comic, which is pretty rare for me.
I mean, the only reason I know about the comic is because I love the action figure line, And I'm kind of upset because I'm pretty sure they got thrown out at some point.
Per game of the year
I would love to still have the originals, but I just thought they were the coolest things ever. I had everything in the series because it was pretty easy. There was only a handful of figures and a couple dragons. They had a couple cool looking dragons. But yeah, there wasn't much to it.
Yeah, it was one of those, whenever I went over to somebody's house, they seemed to have at least a couple of the figures for that. I never had any, so I didn't even really know what it was until later. But
because I'm pretty sure they all went on closeout in Kitty City or Toys R Us back then.
KB Toy or something, yeah.
So, that's probably why people ended up with a bunch of them, because they were only $1. I'm like, no, you'll take your Crystar figure and you'll shut up,
See, it was always G.I. Joe and Transformers and He-Man for the toys in my neighborhood. Well, and for the poor kids, GoBots.
Oh, ouch.
I mean, it was true, though.
Not saying it's not, but...
What was the Cowboys with Dinosaurs one? That was the other one that the GoBots kids had.
Oh... Yeah,
freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
Freedom is the right of all sentient beings. I agree. Plagues, how are you doing? Welcome in.
Gutshot Dog.
Yeah, there were some weird toy lines.
Yeah, TMNT and Thundercats as well.
Thundercats was expensive.
Mask was expensive too.
313.
Mask is still one of my favorite toys of all.
Of all time.
Dino Riders. Thank you, Plagues. Dino Riders. That was it.
Yeah.
Gutshot Dog. Yes.
But yes, I still to this day sincerely regret setting all of my G1 Transformers and
Gutshot
Mask
Dog. Nerf was expensive
vehicles
too.
on fire.
Dude. Party foul.
It was the big goodbye to my childhood. I took all the screws out of all of them, had an epic battle in the backyard, which ended with all of them nuking each other, which meant I poured gasoline on them in a lit match.
Parents would love that.
No, my parents, I lived in the middle of a national forest. No one would ever know.
But I don't think FF series makes Goatee mainly because most of the games share
Well, she did burn the forest down
besides
in the
graphics. I don't think Square doesn't
No. There's plenty of cleared area to do that. I did that in my backyard, so nowhere near the forest.
Plagues 1313.
Thing for you.
Both
Mitchell and I over the break tried to get into Starfield. We both started it, tried playing it, and we bounced off of it hard.
Bounce off of what?
Starfield.
Oh yeah.
It's like I don't know what they did wrong. I can't even explain it, but it doesn't feel right.
Plagues, this is just our editors on the stream right now, but we're happy to have you in chat, share your opinions, and we'll respond to them in real time. As people are more common and regulars on here, then we allow them into the voice, but it takes a little while for us to get to know you and then get to that level.
Gutshot Dog.
Yeah, I love Starfield, but I got bored also. I really feel like the ship crafting was way more difficult than it needed to be.
I mean, I didn't even get that far.
To modify your ship. Oh, I did. I mean, I sank a good, probably 60 hours into it.
Okay, I like 5, and I just I don't want to play this anymore.
1313. Also, the Mask Kawasaki Ninja helicopter was the bomb.
Yes.
When you get a like that,
that's why most of their games feel the same.
I just want to play it.
Game Pass, so I didn't, have to pay any extra money for it. But
yes, that was the general feeling after coming away from it for a while, was that there wasn't enough to keep me involved there.
See Bethesda is making an Indiana Jones game along with Lucas Games.
Well, that doesn't bode well for Indiana Jones. I mean, if they did that, that means that Bethesda had to pay the license to make an Indiana Jones game. Gutshot Dog said, "Did you see that Bethesda is making an Indiana Jones game along with Lucas Games? It looks cool." He said it looks very cool.
Bethesda isn't he making the game?
I hadn't seen anything on that. Let me see what I can find.
I heard there is a game. I didn't know who was making. I don't know who was making it, but
it's another game company.
What was it? The Mystery of Atlantis or whatever, the Scum game of Indiana Jones. That was awesome. I love that.
So it looks like it's Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. It's being developed by Machine Games, published by Bethesda.
Oh, Machine Games. So wait, it's going to be first person and shootery.
Yeah, it's a first person Indiana Jones game. That is what it is.
Huh.
Yep.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Profit Profanity. Todd is directing it.
You should feel what everybody else feels about it.
Plagues 1000.
Which is confused and conflicted?
Yeah.
Profit Profanity.
I think when they showed it, everybody was just like a collective.
Does anyone have an opinion on the murders at Karlov Manor? Ravnica Clue sounds fun. It should be interesting. I really need to understand, I don't have a good feel for the set yet. I would like it to be good, but I'm not sure. Like, there are some powerful cards that they've revealed in the pre-release stuff, but I'm not sure as a whole. I'm interested in the game's in the mechanics, or how it really. The mechanics I've seen that they've revealed so far are not super attractive to me. It just seems like a lot more note keeping than actually playing the game, and I'm not really into some of that. So we'll see.
You make spreadsheets for games, dude. Come on.
You're right, but there's already... So one of the things I have learned about Magic since I came back is there are so many new keywords. 10 years worth of keywords. And they've done a minimum of 3 sets a year for 10 years, so that's 30 sets. Minimum. That's when they didn't have extra ones, because they've been ramping the last few years to where it's like 4 or 5 sets a year. And each one of them has their own sets of keywords, and it's like, holy crap.
Plagues 1313.
Holy crap.
Black would be
I know when I sat in that one, a ton of keywords. I had no idea what they were.
Favorite part of
we have a new sound just for one keyword. Ken's got a deck that now keeps track of nighttime and daytime. And yeah, so his cards transform, they flip over depending on whether it's nighttime or daytime. And so he was having trouble remembering when to do it, so we made audio cues. Nighttime, daytime. Yeah, I'm not really enthused about the investigation arts keywords. They yeah.
Shock dog. Lol.
Yeah. So green black would be fun if there's a Spore Druid synergy. Spore Druids are my favorite part of the Ravnica D&D book. Yeah, and they're definitely, like, there's already infinite combos with some of the preview cards for standard, which I hate about Magic. That's like one of the things that drove me away the first time. But luckily in Commander, not really. Like, you're a lot more equipped to deal with that stuff, because the decks are so big, and it takes a long time even to set up a 3-card combo, because you may only have one of the 3 cards. So, and then once people know what those combos are, they're going to attack those things first to make sure that those combos don't go out. So,
yeah, watching people play Yu-Gi-Oh these days, it's like
being a toxic crybaby.
First turn win,
but how the hell did we go from full art foil lands and full art Comet Goif to this DS?
Gutchalk, I don't mind. I actually like the retro arts cards. I don't always like the full art ones. Some of them are good, but I actually kind of tend to prefer the old style because I'm old and I don't like change. Facts. Hashtag facts about me. So I like the stuff that looks like it's alpha or beta cards. Those are the ones that I like the most. So when they did the Urza's whole set, during the Urza's War, where everything looked like the old cards with the old frames, I was like, yes. That is one of my favorite decks now, the Urza's Alliance deck. So, but yes.
We should probably.
What's up, Monday? Yeah, we should probably wrap it up. Let me quickly go through our thing here. Give a shout out to all of our supporters as soon as I find it in my list. I might not have it here.
1313. Change it as like a new pair of underwear. They re uncomfortable when you first use them, but after a while. Gutshot dog. I mean, pulling and Kaladesh masterpiece compared to this letter washed and colorblind stuff is like going from a 1968 Schvil to a 1996 Beretta.
I will say, if you want to win every game you ever play and just invest in 0 cards beyond a precon, go buy Eldrazi. That precon is one of the craziest things I've ever seen that they've put out as a pre-constructed deck. It'll run you probably about $75 to $90 for it. But if you want to win every game ever, that's it. It's nuts.
Is that just because they're 100-card decks that they're that much, or?
So no. What this is Insidious, by the way, and this is part of the ongoing debate. There is no MSRP on anything anymore.
So it's just open market demand based.
Yep, it's open market demand. Yep. So the stores buy it at a cost, obviously.
Right.
But then there is no MSRP for what they should charge for it. And so if you get it initially, they usually start about 45 is usually the starting point for most of them now. And then as demand says, hey, this is a really good deck, then the price keeps going up. Right now, I'm looking at one for after I get paid. It's a precon deck. There's a single card in the precon deck that's $78 right now. And the whole precon deck is $90. So it more than justifies the cost of buying the precon just to get the one card. So I'm like, okay.
Many crickets.
Yeah, so it's like the aftermarket demand for a lot of cards are super crazy good and super high. I like the Jurassic Park set just came out, and so this is. Let me go back to the Insidious part. So the fact that there's no MSRP for those, right? That's a bad thing in my mind. But also, there's 2 sets of boosters, maybe for a set. Now, moving forward, it won't be this case anymore. A lot of times they were doing draft boosters, which draft boosters are for doing draft, meaning it has land in them, right? Because you're going to build a 40-card deck over whatever your past and all that type of stuff. Okay. Oh, no problem, Crawdad. Welcome back. So you're automatically losing some cards out of that pack, right? And the most you can get is, I think, 2 or 3 rares, because they'll have certain slots for a foil, they'll have certain slot for a rare, and then they'll have certain slot for something else that could also be a rare in a draft pack. Whereas if you get a booster pack, you get less packs in a draft booster box also. So you're getting 30 in a draft booster box. Whereas if you get a booster box, it's 36 packs of 15 cards, and you can get up to 5 rares in each pack. So I don't like that as well. And some sets have only had draft boosters, like the new Ravnica remastered set only has draft boosters. You can't get the normal booster packs where you get more chances at rares. And now they have what are called collector's set boxes, which are collector cards that are mostly all either foils or alternative art cards, which cost, they start at like 220 to 280 for 12 packs.
Oh my gosh.
For 12 packs.
I still can't believe Magic is still going. I mean, all that aside, just the fact that Magic is still going, but then that on top of it is just wow.
It's like I watched somebody.
Wizards of the Coast still is firing people left and right and can't keep.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. It's like so dumb.
BTW.
But at the same time, the game is still thriving. It's still going on at LGS's. They're still like banning cards and keeping, some semblance of power creep out of it. Well, I mean, other than when they print new ridiculous cards. But then the aftermarket price on them goes up, and of course people buy them out, and then it's out of Wizards' hand at that point because they only do their print run of whatever they have. So,
Dog. I saw a 3,000 comp deck.
A $3,000 comp deck? Yeah, I believe it. Look at Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah. BT Dub Plagues, yes. Let me see here real quick. Let me find my updated openers and add the thank you support us so that we can end this here podcast. Thank you for staying a little late, guys. I appreciate it. I know we started super late, and that was all me because I couldn't get my computer to work.
Plagues 1313. Last year I got Innistrad sets 2-5, already have Vow mid. Tonight I won an auction for the first set.
Nice, congratulations, Plagues. I did watch somebody open one of those collector boosters for Ravnica, and they pulled a $500 card out of their collector set that cost them I think it was $280 at the time.
Oh wow.
But that's not me when I pull. You know what I'm saying? It's never me when I pull. Let's see. Where is
Gutshot Dog. Can we just refer to Pal World as the Steve Irwin-esque adventure game? Lol.
Steve Irwin adventure game for Pal World? I mean, does the player get eaten? Oh, too soon?
Step through the heart. Thank you very much. He was not eaten.
Yeah, you're right. Same difference. Mine's funnier though.
Gutshot Dog.
Yours is funnier.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, then yes, we can refer to it as that. My video is not working. Huzzah!
Shot through the heart and
So I will just say a giant thank you to all of our regulars, all of our subscribers, all of our supporters. We couldn't do what we do without you, and you guys are all rock stars. We appreciate every moment you spend with us. You don't have to. You can go anywhere, but yet you choose this weird setup to come and hang out with. We are going to be back tomorrow at what time? At
I got Pal World. Lol.
You got Pal World, Crowdad. You're so easily influenceable. It's only $26. That's not bad.
But we're gonna Game Pass. If you have Game Pass, it's included. So
we're gonna go ahead and raid out to somebody here in a minute. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific, 2 Central, 3 Eastern for AEW Rampage live reaction review. It's a short stream, just an hour. Depending on what we've got going on, there may be a bonus stream later, and it will probably be Magic if people are around. We'll see. But for right now, that's going to do it for us. Dave, thank you for joining us. Matt, thank you. Final thoughts. Actually, I should say, wow, I don't even remember how to do the show anymore. Final thoughts for the day. Let's start with you, Dave.
Get this awesome little Lego spaceship.
Love you guys.
For $20. It's a new set that came out in January. Very sleek little spaceship. If you like that sort of thing, which I do. So.
Matt, final thoughts?
Another game I played and finished, and I want to highly recommend is Death's Door. I know it's on the PlayStation Plus service if you have one of the higher tiers. I don't know about Game Pass. I haven't looked, but it's a nice Zelda-ish isometric action game. It's shorter than your average Zelda game. Great. So, but it when I say Zelda, I'm talking like old school Zelda, like Link to the Past. But yeah, that was a fun little game. Warning: if you do want to get the platinum trophy for it, just keep the beginning weapon for the whole game because that's the hardest one to get. I did not do that, so I will not be getting the platinum for this game. But if you want to, just use the starter weapon the whole game. Otherwise, the rest of the trophies should not be that big of a deal. Yeah, and then the one thing I do have to say, I'm assuming we've all seen the Madam Web trailer.
Oh my God!
It's so bad. So
it's as bad as the Craven one. I didn't think it was possible, and it is
worse in some ways. I think it's. Oh God!
I mean, it just proves to me Sony cannot make a movie on their own to save their life.
They used to at least make good trailers, and then the movies were just disappointments. Then now they can't even do that. They can't. Like, I don't know.
What I'm curious about is like that animated Spider-Man is they so nailed it there.
Gut shot dog. Take it easy.
Why
guys.
can't they do?
And good luck on the video capture.
Sony is
hardware
basically DC, I guess, right? Live action versus animated.
313. I'm just sick of Marvel and bad DC.
My final thoughts are that don't forget to type ! GOTY
Was legit.
and vote for Game of the Year. We're going to leave this open for a week, and then we're going to close it. So make sure you go vote now. And we'll end the show with a sage piece of advice like we always do
313.
Oh no.
Joti.
to tide you over until next we meet, which will be tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific, 2 Central, 3 Eastern for AEW Rampage Live Reactions Reviews.
1313.
Dave,
Joti.
No.
how do you know
User
when you
protection
finished
tips.
watching a shipwreck?
You have that sinking feeling?
Close, you've let it sink in. Until next time, everybody, we will raid out here real quick. We're going to go send some love over to Fammy Bloom. He's a good friend of the channel, so we're going to go over that direction. Raid Fammy Bloom. And until next time, as always, be excellent to each other. And of course, game on.
Game on.
You just had to do it from the chair.
Bye, everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye.